known as the worst disease that you've never heard of.
It is the number one most painful disease to have.
You're learning how to do it. You're learning how to become a nurse, and you never went to school for that. And the bandage changes are very difficult, and there's a lot of days where you do more harm than good. And you're constantly seeing your daughter being medicated with pain medication, high doses. She was on methadone, she's on morphine, multiple doses of morphine at certain times because she can't stop crying because she's in so much pain. And there's days where you leave and you look at ourselves, we look like someone, like a scene from Braveheart, where we have blood all over our shirts and stuff. And there's the next day, you get up and you want to see your daughter, but there's days you're looking at each other and you're like, I really don't want to go and do this again.
Things are a little bit different these days. I have to travel into the city. It's an hour and 20-minute train ride. And, you're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and taking basically the 412. Every day it gets a little exhausting because with Mackenzie, her sleep patterns are unpredictable. And, there's a lot of nights where you're going on 3-4 hours of sleep. And with a disease like EB, by the end of the week, you're definitely exhausted. So... Yep, we're good.
Mackenzie laugh one time, and then you could start without the volume. We'll compromise. Oh, did she splash you? Can she splash you one more time? One more time, come on. Good job. Yay. All right, now you can play.
We decided to go forward with having another child because of Crosby. Because he came home from school one day when they were learning about families, right? And he drew a picture of our family, and he had a baby brother in the picture. And he's like, how come I don't have a baby brother? When can I get one? Like, you could go to the supermarket and pick one up. We found out that Liz was pregnant with Mackenzie.
The sonograms, the tests, everything came back great. I had high blood pressure again throughout the pregnancy, so there was a small concern about me, and they decided to induce the labor. And, the labor went extremely fast, very easy, and then Mackenzie was born. And the doctor's like, she's breathing, the heart is good, we're fine. And, the nurse I saw out of the corner of my eye, they went to wipe her and took off some skin. And then I realized that she didn't have skin on her legs up to her knees, and that her hands were all raw and red, and so they put her in my face, and then she went off to the NICU.
We saw her for like 5 seconds, and she was gone. And they said we have to do some testing, figure what was going on, and we had no clue leading up to that point because I carried the recessive trait for EB, and so does Liz, but no one in our family has ever displayed it to our knowledge. So, and it's not something because it's so rare that they genetically test for. You can, but, usually, Mackenzie's type, it's 6 in every million. So it's so rare that they don't test for it. So we both carried a recessive trait, so there's a 25% chance that Mackenzie, or even Crosby could show the dominant, visibly, display it.
Like, I've always had a job since I was 15 years old. I always worked. I always had to get up and go to school and then go to work, or even after I had Crosby, I was home a week and then I went back to work. It was the summer. Nick was in the school as a school psychologist, and I was doing early intervention, so I was able to make my own schedule. So I went back to work part-time. So for me, it wasn't just the adjustment of having Mackenzie. It was finding a new role. You absolutely go through the grieving process of losing in your mind your perfect child, and then learning how to identify yourself as a new person.
I'm going to kind of covertly say to her that we got to change her diaper.
Yeah, I was going to say she's due for a diaper change.
Things can change for the worse in seconds. Come on, let's go. Let's go. In the school systems, I was making double what I'm making now, and I had the vacation time. You know, the hours were different. I wasn't traveling an hour and 20 minutes to New York City and an hour and 20 minutes back. It was something where I was able to, like looking back at it now, I don't have regrets going into the culinary world. I love cooking. It's awesome. On the other hand, I do regret not staying in that profession because it would have provided a better quality of life at the current moment for my family and what our current needs are. You know, my son suffers the most. And that's the hard part for me. Because I want nothing but for him to be happy. So, you know, I know if I was still working in the schools, I can drop him off at school, I can pick him up, I could be there for him. You know, Mackenzie gets a lot of the attention, and that's the hard part. People can only do the best they can on this given day, given the skills and knowledge that they have. And I said it to myself every single day when I wake up, that I can only do the best I can on this given day.
Mommy! Daddy!
It's on?
Yeah!
All right. And that was perfect.
In order to move forward with this role of being Mackenzie's nurse, I personally could not do it if I didn't separate the nursing from the mom. So downstairs, you know, doing the bottles and the feeding and playing on her mat and everything, that's all mom stuff. But when we're at the table, unless it's a diaper change, I have separated myself and I'm not really mom anymore. Yes, you know, I can soothe her and do all of those things. But in my mind, I think more like a nurse. And I think that if I didn't have that sort of small level of detachment, I don't know how I would get through it. I mean, what would you do? I mean, to cry through a bandage change every day it would be incredibly challenging. And Ange, we could use your help if you can take a break. Say it's about to get real. Okay, ready? Here we go. What are we gonna do? Okay. Yeah. That way. Ready? The toes first. If you need to pat, whatever you need to do. Ready? I'm gonna try and drop. And Can we splash your thing again? Yeah, maybe we should. I need to try, right?
Do you and your husband ever have time for each other?
We haven't gone on a date since Mackenzie was born.
But there's so much in such a short period of time that could happen. And again, we haven't lost that fear yet.
I was going to say, there's a fear factor there.
That, one little thing within seconds can become a big thing. And you're spending the next month trying to recover just for having a couple hours of good time together.
So it's it's a two-pronged thing. There's that fear of that something happening, which is us.
That's us. That's
100%.
preventing us from doing it. But again, it's also being able to have the trust of someone where they feel comfortable with handling or taking care of Mackenzie that would allow us to go out there. Basically, because we were doing so much damage with the bandages, and they kept on coming off, and every time they came off, Mackenzie's skin would come off with it. So she said, to keep the bandages in place and from them coming off, why don't we try socks? They're just hanging here, let's use them. And that's what we used. It worked. Everyone started getting the attention of all the nurses. They would walk in and they'd be like, yo, girl, rock those socks,
What are we? We're two parents with two kids in Long Island. A speech pathologist, by trade, and a school psychologist by trade, who's now, a chef in the city. But, what could we do? Like, really, what could we do to find a cure for EB? This huge genetic disease, rare, no one's ever heard of it. How could we do that?
And I said, I have a poem that I'd like to make into a rap song. And, I want to do a video. I want to, jumpstart. I want to take pictures of people with socks on their hands. Do you think it's funny? He's like, no, I kind of like the idea.
So everybody rock your socks. Now everybody rock your socks. Now everybody rock your socks. Rock your socks. Rock your socks with me.
With Rock the Socks that I started to find some solace in help from others, and to see, I think, when we went to the video shooting at the high school, to see the whole community come out like that was a real healing moment for us. And I said, this is probably where we're supposed to be.
Family, within army, beyond me, fighting till we die. You do more than get by. You don't need a walk to fly. You just gotta believe. Yeah, I say to believe. You just gotta do you. Sit back and succeed. See, the future isn't written, so we're down and take shots. And if we wanna help rock that opportunity, not, cause we be calling for some backup. Back up, we just gotta pick that slack up. So going rocket sides, come show us what you got. Upload it to the world and support our girl. Blisters and scars still shine like a star. Max still going far, girl, own who you are. And so everybody rock your socks. Now everybody rock your socks. Now everybody rock your socks. Rock your socks.
All right. I would say make the choice to be happy. Make the choice to be positive, and make the choice to do the best you can every day, and accept that you did do the best you could do. Nick?
Ditto. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, I would say that, keep believing. Anything's possible. We've met a lot of amazing people on this journey over this past year, and I feel there's a reason for every hands that we touched and every person's hands that touched us. I think it's been a true gift, and I think good things are going to come out of it.